But
you can see what the wing looks like without fabric over it. It's just spruce.
Yeah, amazing.
And you put the covering over it. You sew it down. You take a hot iron and iron it, and that shrinks the Dacron, and then it's tight like a drum. Then you can paint it. So, Boeing built, here you can see the data plate.
Okay.
Boeing, Wichita, Kansas. That's where they built these.
Yeah. It was in Wichita, eh?
Yep. Yeah, this is the actual data plate. This is 80 years old, this piece of metal here.
Holy jeez.
And we kept it. After the war, most of the 10,000 Stearmans were scrapped. Nobody wanted them. But farmers came in and bought about 10% of them and turned them into spray planes. Crop dusters.
Sure.
So when me and a buddy found this in 1991, this is 1991, it looked like this.
Right on.
See, it had a 450 horsepower Pratt & Whitney engine on the nose.
Okay.
They had metallized the wings. They took out the front cockpit because that's where the spray equipment was.
So it had that Pratt & Whitney.
It was a duster.
Yeah.
And so it dusted for 25 years after the war. Then they put it in a barn, took the wings off, and we bought it. That we is me. That's me 30 years ago.
Good for you.
And a friend of mine.
Okay.
So we spent 9 years restoring it. When we ripped off the crop duster fabric, underneath we found the military fabric. They had never ripped it off. They covered right over it.
Eh?
So we knew exactly how to paint it.
Wow.
That's what it said during the war. That's the war fabric, 105.
Yeah.
And we ripped that off and got right down to the chrome moly steel tubing and started back up. Overhauled the engine, built new streamers and formers,
lots of
all
work.
new wood, wheels and brakes, new radios.
New wood, everything.
Took a long time. 9 years to get it flying. It flew in 2000.
9 years.
Flying now for 20 years.
9 years of work. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
These two little boys, this is in 1991. They're two of my four kids. So they grew up working on this plane. He's now a Navy guy. He flies.
Cool.
He's a Lockheed Martin aerospace engineer, and he flies.
Jeez. You must be proud of those.
You're going to inherit this one.
Proud of those little characters.
Okay, you probably know what this is.
That's the pitot tube.
Pitot tube. Big. They call this the N strut because it looks like the letter N.
Yes. Okay.
It's got 4 wires that go up to the top. These are your flying wires. They're taking all that lift from the top wing and raising up the airplane through the wires. The wires that come downward are called the landing wires. They're holding this bottom wing. When you land, this wing wants to flex down. This reacts to those forces. But you can see the triangles here. It's like a bridge truss.
Yes.
Very strong. So,
Wow.
I was an Army primary trainer. 13D.
Oh, okay.
PT was primary trainer.
Okay.
Got a primer here. Big 5-gallon oil tank. Radial engine. 9-cylinder Lycoming. 225 horsepower.
As a kid, I had one of the cylinders for a lamp.
Yeah.
To my desk.
It's all air cooled like most airplane engines. Just
Yep.
fans, the air goes through here, and
Yeah, not cold.
dual spark plugs, dual magnetos. Every cylinder has an exhaust pipe.
So this engine, you were telling me before I started filming, is the one. So when you got it, it had that old
It had the Pratt &
Whitney on it.
450. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 200, half the size.
Yeah, it's a 220.
225.
225. Yeah.
Each of these exhaust pipes dumps into this big collector manifold, this ring.
Yep.
So all the smoke comes out on one side when you start the engine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to be sitting in the front seat.
Okay.
There's that GoPro mounted right there.
Oh, you got it.
It's
Yeah.
pointed back at the
Sure.
passenger,
Sure.
and it's tied into the audio.
Yep. Same thing I have on my machines.
Windshield's very effective. You stay behind it.
No hat.
If you want to bring a camera, keep it behind the windshield. Don't do this.
I know
No
exactly
one's
what
lost
you,
it yet,
I know
but that's because I'm sitting behind you and I'll see you. If you're starting to inch out, I'll go, bring the camera back.
There's those that have and those that will.
Hasn't happened yet, thank goodness, because I'm
Like-
watching.
It's like gear, except you got fixed gear on this thing. Wow, Craig,
haven't
this
landed
is
gear up yet.
Craig. This is what a project. What a great thing for you to have put together.
It's obviously, have you flown tailwheel planes?
I used to have a Starby years ago. Like
Yeah,
it's
well,
been a
you
while.
know the difference between them.
It's been a while.
This is a kind of an extreme example. They have really tall, narrow landing gear. Like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. They
And the gas tank's up in the top center section. So you got all this weight up here going back and forth with the narrow gear.
short
So it
coupled.
wants to
Or
rock,
not short coupled, but
and then you can't see forward.
yeah.
So it's kind of a perfect storm.
Yeah.
This washed out half the students.
Okay.
My dad said half his class was gone in 2 weeks. And
No
they gave him a
kidding.
rifle and said, "You're not going to be a pilot." So the
Okay.
Stearman was meant to screen people, keep the quick learners.
Yep.
It's difficult to take off and land. In the air, simple, like
So
a bike.
crosswind is probably the challenge, eh?
Yeah, especially on an asphalt runway. My father said they would never.
Oh yeah, grass.
They
would be
never
good.
landed on asphalt in the Stearman. They always landed on a big round grass field into the wind. And so when I was able to give him a ride in this in 2000,
Your dad?
yeah, he was 76 at that time. I said, let's go flying. He goes, you're going to fly off concrete? He said, we would have never done that.
But it worked.
So big long ailerons, take some muscle and roll. It's
They're
not a sparkling
they're big.
roller.
Ooh. They're big and no flaps.
No flap, no need for flaps. You pull up power, it's going to come down like this. And without building up speed.
A friend of mine who's been in a Stearman, he was saying, and it takes off at 80, flies at 80, stalls at 80, and descends at 80. I don't know.
Now 75 to 80 is,
He was.
we cruise at 90. But you'll make your approach about 75 to 80 and you climb at 75.
90, you're just a moving.
It feels fast. Trim tabs in both elevators.
Okay,
Got a
right.
little trim lever over on your left side, just goes forward and back.
Okay, on the left side, sure.
No wheel like a Cessna has.
No. Okay.
Fuel tank is up in the top. See that filler cap?
46 gallons.
Yeah, there's a metal tank just in the center section.
Yeah.
The rest of the wings are wood.
And it's just gravity feed.
There's gravity.
No engine pump.
Nope. There's a three-way pressure, oil temperature, oil pressure, and fuel pressure on the same gauge, and the fuel pressure is always going to be on 0 because there's no fuel pump.
Okay. Makes sense.
We're 4777 Victor, so that's what you'll be listening for.
Right on. So this one was built in
43.
43. It was on, I should take a picture of that sign there. Yeah. Wow.
The tube that you see hanging down is the fuel gauge.
That's the gauge, yeah.
I just filled it after lunch.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's a little float floating on top of the fuel with a wire that comes down into that tube.
Yep.
And as we get back, you may begin to see the little
Yeah.
red dot on the end of the
I should
wire.
have told you I was just a little fella. Then you wouldn't have filled it up. No.
This will carry almost anybody. That mirror to the left there
Okay.
is, I asked my father, what was the mirror for? He goes, that's so we give each other hand signals.
Ah.
And I said, why don't you just talk on your intercom? He said, we didn't have an intercom in this plane in 1944.
Jeez.
He
Yeah.
said we had a tube. They called it a Gosport tube. It was like a hose. They could yell through the hose to earbuds. He said, but you could hear shit.
And hopefully they didn't pee in it.
So he said the instructor would reach forward and tap his shoulder and point at the mirror, get his attention. Then he'd go, land or up, yes,
Something.
no, cut the engine, throttle back. They had about 20 hand signs,
Wow.
like scuba divers. But
Wow. Yeah.
so you can't see forward on the ground, and you couldn't talk to your instructor. You can see why they had some problems.
Jeez. Well, you got an
I
intercom.
do have
you got
an electronic headset
an
for you
intercom
today.
system now. Yeah.
It's still going to be loud. It's hard to hear, but just turn it up loud.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
Oh, I'm just amazed. It's just to have it all together and flying like this is fantastic.
You probably get,
Baggage compartment back here.
yeah,
Yeah. I got a little space there.
probably get dehydrated from the air. I got a little fridge here on the left
Okay.
with water and sodas if you want something when you get back.
Sure.
What we're going to do is I'm going to start this is a tug.
So you yourself, you've been, I mean, this is really interesting. You've been flying for a long time, eh?
My dad taught me when I was a teenager.
Good for you. Cool.
But
So
most of my career was working with the Air Force and NASA on rocket engines. I flew on the side.
I read that.
I was not a...
No, no. And then now you're flying this, you're flying the SNJ.
Whatever else will let me fly.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll start this up. We're going to pull it out here in the sun.
Yep.
We'll take a picture of you if you want in front of the plane.
Sure.
We'll sit you up in the front seat, put on your seatbelt, shoulder harness, headset,
Okay.
get you all dressed up, and then I'll take another picture of you if you want. And we'll start the engine. We're going to taxi out this way, turn left. The runway is about a half a mile over this way.
Okay, yeah.
There's two parallel runways going about like this.
Yeah.
In the middle of the field. There's a 1 big mile square.
Gotcha, yeah.
It looks like they're taking off this way now, instead of the northeast to the southwest. So we probably take off this way. We'll ask for a right turn. We have a tower here, so we can head back to those mountains. Those are called the McDowell Mountains.
Super.
To the left is a city called Scottsdale.
Yep.
To the right is a city called Fountain Hills.
Fountain Hills, yeah.
So it's pretty nice suburbs. We'll head that way. When we get outside the Class Delta airspace, about a 5-mile radius, I'll say, okay, Brad, we can talk now.
Okay.
Until that time, I want you just to listen. I'll need to be talking to the tower. They'll be talking to me. They'll be talking to all the other planes.
Yeah,
You're going to hear a lot of chatter.
Be busy.
But when we pass the Class D line, I'll say, okay, Brad, we can talk now.
Okay.
And I'll turn them off.
Okay. Whatever you need to do.
You know how it works. A lot of people aren't pilots that go with me, and I have to be very careful to make them understand not to talk.
Oh, I know. I can imagine.
Sometimes they get excited and go, what's the name of that mountain? And I'll go, shh.
What's this gauge on 0? It's the fuel pressure.
That's right. That's happened. Okay. So anyway,
Okay.
We'll take off. We'll head that way. We'll climb up to about 3,500 feet, MSL, 1,000 meters, whatever you use in Canada.
No, we're still using feet.
And get past the Class D, and then I'll say, okay, Brad, we can talk now.
Yep.
Then I'm going to say, go ahead and put your hand on the control stick,
Sure.
feet on the pedals.
That time.
I'll get you a little orientation up and down, left and right, so you can feel how different the controls are compared to the
Yeah,
Cessna.
whatever you're comfortable with.
Then I'll just let you fly it for a while. As we get over the mountains there, what I normally do with my non-pilot people is I say, I got 4 maneuvers I can demonstrate.
Sure.
If you'd like me to. I can do a sharp turn.
Yep.
I let them do a gentle turn by themselves,
Sure.
and up and down by themselves, and then I say, would you like to see a sharp turn? If they do, we'll go as fast as the Stearman can go, which isn't that fast.
No, whatever. Yeah.
And then I'll say, would you like to feel zero gravity?
Sure.
Like the roller coaster where you go up,
Yeah, you
push
bet.
over the top.
You bet.
Feel like you're coming out of your seat.
Always fun.
Then I ask them if they want to do just a power off stall, and we slow it down
Okay.
until it drops, and then
Okay.
add the power back in.
Doesn't
If you want
tend
to do
to
the stall, I'll let you
doesn't
do it.
tend to drop the wings or anything much.
No, it's pretty much straight ahead.
Yep.
Then we can do a lazy 8, if you know what that is. Just kind of a big figure 8 in the sky. At that time, we got to turn around, start coming back to a Falcon Field. On the way back, you can fly if you want to. When we get to the 5-mile Class D airspace again, we'll listen in.
Okay. Craig, fantastic. Wow. Thank you for the explanation there
Tug it
too.
out.
That's so cool.
Burn about a quart an hour of oil.
A quart an hour. I had a 182 that did that. That wasn't good.
Yeah, but on a radial engine, they have a lot looser tolerances. That's normal.
Yeah.
We fly our B-17. We have a B-17 bomber.
Yes, I know.
The big, 1,200 horse engines. They'll burn a gallon of oil per hour.
Wow.
4 liters.
Wow.
And that's normal.
Yep. Yeah, so after a flight, you got to wipe her down, check the oil, get your camera ready.
Lengthen the belts, reload the camera.
Yeah, make sure the foam on the headset earpiece hasn't been stolen.
Yeah.
I got a picture of you.
I'm going to lengthen this one.
Got a picture of you with your head down in there and your feet sticking straight up.
You did?
I don't know if I should use that anywhere. I probably shouldn't use it.
Always make these as long as they can be for the next person.
Yeah, that's smart.
What
'cause
size they're going to be.
they're going to be my size, and you're going to need them. Yeah, but they work well. They adjusted fine. $46 gallons US, eh? And how much fuel is it burning again?
13 gallons per hour.
13, yeah.
This will carry. I've carried a person 375 pounds.
Okay.
I had a half tank of gas. See
Yeah.
the little dot here?
Yes. See it floating. Yeah.
It's floating up and down.
Yeah.
Comes down about 3/4 of an inch per flight.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You get about 6 flights out of a tank.
Okay. 13 gallons an hour, US. Yeah.
I get my seat, I'll turn it on.
Okay.
you look in the mirror, you'll see me.
Gotcha.
Fuel is on, mixture's rich.
Okay.
Clear prop.
Oh, you bet. I got you.
head cut off very carefully so I don't rip the
Yeah, the
bone off.
covers. Oh, was that ever fun? Wow. You can see why you'll want every excuse to keep this thing going, eh?
Congratulations.
Get people.
You're a Stearman cadet now.
Yeah.
You got the first lesson the cadets got, including taxi.
Jeez.